Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god, I'm sorry. It's Amber. Ah! We are talking about the found footage horror movie Chupacabra territory, also known as Lair of the Beast. Now this one is written and directed by Matt McWilliams. So the story here is we have a small group of 4 friends wanting to go out in the wilderness in the American outback somewhere to try and document evidence of the elusive Chupacabra, this mythical creature that is meant to kill livestock, drain their blood, and apparently eat their testicles. But there you go. So we have this group of 3 guys and 1 girl decide to go out camping to try and look for evidence. And they run into a group of other campers whilst they're out there. They're trying to get warned off by the local sheriff, I suppose. And inevitably things go wrong and they encounter much more than they bargained for. What will happen? You'll have to watch the movie to find out. So let's discuss what works, first of all, with Chupacabra territory. For a found footage movie, I would say it's relatively kind of well shot. At the end, it does get very shaky cam, but for the most part, it's relatively kind of well shot. You can kind of see what is going on for the most part. The effects-wise, it's relatively limited, but the creature effects themselves, when we do see it, I've got to say I thought, well, worked okay. I mean, you only ever see fleeting glimpses of this thing, as you probably do in most found footage movies. But nonetheless, I thought what we did see was fairly good. I liked one of the characters, Morgan, his name was. I thought he came across as quite a believable character. What else can we say that's good about this movie? The Chupacabra is an interesting creature, that's for sure. I like the guy at the gas stop. As you can probably tell, I am scraping the barrel on this one. Okay, let's get into it. I think found footage movies are probably one of the easiest movies to make in regards to acting, because I feel that people can more or less act like they do normally. If I were to make a film and I want to make a found footage film, you'd make the characters as near to your real actors' personalities as you could, I feel, to try and get the most natural performance. And it's rare to me to see truly awful acting in a found footage movie, but lo and behold, this one manages to do it. There is some awful acting, and particularly from our female member of the group, who is just hamming it up to unbelievable levels. This is not helped by the terrible script that makes her some type of nondescript psychic and have some type of psychic connection to the Chupacabra, which for all intents and purposes is an animal, but somehow it speaks and things like this. It is ridiculous. There are some absolutely stupid plot points in this movie, and there's, for example, she wants to try and get a connection to the Chupacabra, so she needs to have sex whilst her friends are getting killed. It is just ridiculous. We have a subplot about this guy just wandering around in the woods in a kind of a gas mask. We don't know why, really. It's never really explained. He's just there. Plot-wise, it's horrible. I've mentioned the actual special effects, so I actually did like the actual special effects of the Chupacabra itself. However, there is some very awkward and obvious CGI blood, and it makes the mistake here of trying to have like blood splatter on the lens of the camera. Now, you have to bear in mind the camera lens is small, it's about this big, so we're getting this kind of like, it looks like it should be like meant to be like a foot long sort of blood sort of splatter and stuff like that. It's silly. It's just silly. And there's very obvious CGI blood and stuff like that. When the actual effects of the Chupacabra, I've got to say, weren't too bad. 90% of this movie is these people pissing about, drinking beer or arguing. It is 90% of the running time. The decisions these people make are idiotic. I can understand the the decisions made under panic and things like that maybe not be the best. But I don't think these people are here for an extended period of time. And, you know, there's clearly danger and stuff, but they don't want to pack up and stuff like that. They go completely unarmed. And these people believe the Chupacabra exists to begin with. They're going to find this Chupacabra, which they know at this point in this universe is killing animals. They know it is potentially dangerous, yet they go completely ill-prepared with not even a knife. So it just seems really, really ridiculous, unfortunately. There's some horrible editing within this movie as well that is so cheesy and crap. Like, there's two lots of campers, and we kind of have, for example, situations where we have someone talking in one scene from one camp and then something else happening in the other camp, which is kind of meant to reflect it and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense for a found footage movie, you know, it's just like, it's too contrived. So this is a real shame, because I think there's an interesting story to be had here. And I think there are elements of it which work relatively well. I think on a technical side, outside of some real bad shaky cam towards the end, it's technically not too bad for a found footage film. Well, there is again this argument: why are these people shooting when there's clearly some shit going down? They do have these they GoPros in the heads. But there's also a guy carrying a very cumbersome large camera, running away from things. You would just ditch it and run. And this guy who holds the camera barely ever speaks as well. It's like these other guys are other three are all speaking, and the one holding the camera simply doesn't ever really interact with anyone. It just seems really stupid because this guy never really seems part of the group. It's a real mess of a found footage film, unfortunately. I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10, and I feel that's fairly generous. 4 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.